corporate, their CSR could be listed. So, for instance, if I want to do something in the look for that information, and I see now there are 5 organizations, and 2 of them are just around my house. Why would I go to create 10 other people? There are like Serani and Third Corporation of the Anglo and Third. They are doing some projects together. The thing that I have on my mind as the president of the CSR Club, I try to encourage.
Pakistan Center for Philanthropy is a government body. List of organizations which have been approved by Pakistan Center for Philanthropy. So you will find organizations.
We will say that your organization is not approved, and this other people will get approved, then I'll go to the court and say, no. So we move on to the next founder, Mandra. That's my point.
CSR फंड के हवाले से ये बेसिकली हमारा एक कौमी फरीजा है और जिस तरह हम पे ज़कात फर्ज वहीं पर उन्होंने खुद ही अपने अदारे बनाने शुरू कर दिए हैं और वही फंड जो माशरे में जाना चाहिए होता है अपने ही लोगों में इस्तेमाल हो रहा है जहाँ पे उसका उतना फायदा नहीं हो रहा माशरे के अंदर। भारत भी है कि आप उनको देखें ऐसे इदारों को जो जनरल उतर रहे हैं माशरे के अंदर उनको ये फंड मिलना चाहिए। मैं यहाँ पे एक छोटा सा और उनको
We'd also like to request your applause for the guest of Mr. Shtiaq Beg, who is founder, president, Make a Wish Foundation. So,
and with the biggest CSR program, very vibrant program and very dynamic, and what we are doing right now, National Forum for Environmental Health, and we had a lovely conference, lots of nice people, and exactly the same thing happened today. We had a lovely lunch. We were ambassador and everybody else. I even met Dr. Wajad Yogi, जो TV पे देखा, an orthopedic surgeon, and a wonderful person for our country, and I'm going to invite him over. We can use this opportunity, which the National Forum for till the next conference next year, and we can all divide the things. We are like OJDCL and other, and my colleague here who spoke on the stray dogs and all that, and my programs like Maria, she just left NUST. They want research and development, so they're only selecting the targets for the next year and see what we can do on ground rather than help. And if you have a genuine proposal as a CSR initiative, thank you very much.
Already, and inshallah tomorrow we are visiting NUST for learning more. Spread that benefit to other areas of society, like I was telling you.
Organizations are doing a lot of CSR work in many mega projects on national level. But still, we don't know. We haven't aligned our, developmental challenges, and then we have no set targets like where we want to take this community development initiatives through the CSR projects. So what we developed and ये जो implementation की जहाँ पे आपने बात की, तो we decided to develop a strategy where we can align our CSR goals and the community needs, and we also are trying to harmonize community development needs with the business interests. And CSR has a wider scope, as earlier discussed in the previous session, that CSR is not just about community development or the charity work. It's about, and we should work on that line as well.
Thank you very much, and we appreciate you cooperating and making it short. But we talk about different type of. I would like to welcome our dear friend to this forum, Mr. Masood Khan, President, Azad Jammu and Kashmir. Please, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm
Zabardast Nation, inshallah. So if anybody likes to sing this song, you're welcome to sing with me. ऐसी ज़मीं और आसमां इनके सिवा जाना कहाँ बढ़ती रहे ये रोशनी चलता रहे ये कारवान दिल दिल पाकिस्तान जान जान पाकिस्तान दिल दिल Pakistan Kashmir and Pakistan Dil Dil Pakistan Jahan Jahan Pakistan Dil Dil Pakistan Jahan Jahan Pakistan Dil Dil se milte hai to pyar ka chehra banta hai हमको भी अपने और अरमान से यार लगता है यार लगता है हे दिल दिल पाकिस्तान जान जान पाकिस्तान दिल दिल पाकिस्तान जान जान पाकिस्तान दिल दिल पाकिस्तान जान जान पाकिस्तान दिल दिल पाकिस्तान जान Pakistan Gar apna to sabko ji jaan se pyar लगता है प्यार लगता है हमको भी अपने और अरमान से प्यार लगता है प्यार लगता है everybody दिल दिल पाकिस्तान जान जान पाकिस्तान दिल दिल पाकिस्तान जान जान पाकिस्तान दिल दिल पाकिस्तान जान जान पाकिस्तान दिल दिल पाकिस्तान जान जान Pakistan ऐसी ज़मीं और आसमां इनके सिवा जाना कहाँ बढ़ती रहे ये रोशनी चलता रहे ये कारवान दिल दिल पाकिस्तान जान जान पाकिस्तान दिल दिल Pakistan Kashmir and Pakistan Dil Dil Pakistan Jahan Jahan Pakistan Kashmir and Pakistan Jahan Jahan Pakistan Dil Dil Pakistan Jahan Jahan Pakistan Dil Dil Pakistan Jahan Jahan Pakistan
Zindabad!
Pakistan
Zindabad!
Pakistan Zindabad! बहुत शुक्रिया बहुत शुक्रिया
Give him one more round of applause. He is a foreigner staying in Pakistan and he loves Pakistan and doing a lot of great things.
President AJK, Mohammad Naeem Qureshi Saab, President NFEH, Mirza Ishtiyaq Beg Saab, Make a Wish Foundation President, Engineer Nadeem Ashraf Saab, Vice President NFEH, Ruqayya Naeem Sahiba, General Secretary NFEH, and our favorite, His Excellency, Ambassador of Morocco in Islamabad. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum, and media persons, Assalamu alaikum. सबसे पहले तो मेरा ख्याल है I should show my appreciation, and I would request you to show your appreciation to our friend Todd Shea, who have just sung Dil Dil Pakistan. Wonderful. And I'm going to tell you a story, although time is very short and I have to leave 3:30. There was a Iranian delegation visiting Scotland, and that time I was Glasgow city councillor. and I wanted to welcome our guests in Persian. So I spoke to somebody who knew Persian very well and asked him to write a speech for me, and then I practiced for many hours. So I made a speech, welcomed the delegation, and when the chief guest came to deliver his speech, he says, Mr. Sarwar, I'm very pleased to know that Urdu is very similar to Persian. So one thing I very feel proud that aaj our friend, that was the real Urdu he was speaking. So मुझे ये कहना नहीं पड़ा कि this is similar to something English or something else. It gives me immense pleasure to be present at the 13th CSR Summit and Award 2021. I'm happy to see such a galaxy of distinguished people from business, academia, industry, development sector, public and private organizations. These persons of eminence are highly exclusive on several counts. The foremost among them is their unwavering commitment with the cause of development and uplift of deprived segments of the society through their corporate social responsibility initiatives, and thereby bringing about a positive change in the quality of life at a grassroots level. Ladies and gentlemen, in the backdrop of the outbreak of COVID-19 and ensuing lockdown situation, the role and the importance of CSR has increased manyfold. I am pleased to share with you that I myself led an initiative with the support of leading charities in the country to provide emergency relief to poor families. Indeed, the National Forum for Environment and Health and its development partners deserve credit for undertaking similar initiatives. I would like to assure my fullest support and cooperation to the individuals and organizations that are committed to the cause of CSR. I would also like to take this opportunity to assure you that the government is fully committed and geared towards the cause of improving socio-economic conditions of less privileged segments of our society. The federal government is extending its support to provinces to undertake development projects under public-private partnership mode. I believe that collaborative governance and collective leadership under PP mode provide an environment where the government and the corporate sector can join hands to effectively deliver for the masses at grassroots level. I believe that under PP mode, projects could be initiated in the fields of water, sanitation, energy, health and education, enabling the government to work for uplift and improvement of quality of life in underdeveloped and underprivileged areas of the country. There is no dearth of evidence that joint initiatives of government and the corporate sector have played a role in delivering basic amenities and services to the communities across the globe. In this regard, the role of the international development partners in terms of their technical and financial assistance is of paramount importance. It has always been the priority of the government to facilitate and promote efforts in the field of corporate philanthropy aimed at general welfare of underprivileged people. The present government has always been there to lend all our support to scientists, engineers, researchers, managers, academicians, and scholars in public and private sector. Indeed, the role of universities in the country to further the cause of socio-economic development through their research and academic initiative cannot be underemphasized. Ladies and gentlemen, I would also like to reiterate the unwavering resolve of the government to promote education and scholarly work, especially aimed at promoting underprivileged segments of the society. This commitment of the government will always be present with complete understanding of the respective authorities, and no country could make progress without attaining advancement in the field of science and education. I would like to appreciate and congratulate people and corporate citizens whose services are being recognized and rewarded in today's event for their commendable contribution in the field of socio-economic uplift and achievement of deprived segments of the society. I sincerely wish all the award-winning companies and persons success, progress and prosperity in all their future endeavors aimed at larger good of the society. And finally, I want to say that I have listened to the speeches of the speakers. They were very brief. Speeches were very meaningful, very innovative, very commendable, and very constructive and productive. And one thing Suhail, I think, said was that all those water filtration plants and water schemes which were installed by the government, unfortunately, I would say all of them, if not all of them, 90% of them are shut. We spent billions of rupees on these schemes, filtration plants, RO plants, tube wells, but after that, because there is no maintenance, these projects just waste all the money. And all the projects which are running in the private sector, all the filtration plants, all the stuff, they are running well. I tell you, my own foundation, Sarwar Foundation, is one of the largest clean drinking water provider in Pakistan. We provide 2 million people daily clean drinking water. And I tell you honestly, the filtration plants which I installed with the price of 1.5 million, and the government installed those filtration plants with 15 million. 15 million, 10 times more. And all the government plants are shut, and our plants are running and providing clean drinking water to the masses. So I think it's very important for us to join hands. Private sector, the charitable sector is very important. When I became a governor in 2013, I remember I first realized there are a lot of good organizations, good people working hard, but there is no collaboration, there is no cohesion, there is no understanding between them. So I brought 65 NGOs together under the umbrella of Punjab Development Network. And I just want to tell you that during COVID-19, that 165 organizations went up to 165 organizations. And I'm proud to say that we provided just ration packs to 2 million families, which means almost 15 million people, the people who lost their job. So if we work together, I think we can achieve a lot. And I think there has to be broader understanding between all the companies with the high budget of CSR, so we can work together for the welfare and benefit of the people. And the last thing I want to say is, one thing is my experience, कि आज तक मैंने, ये अक्सर मैं कहता हूँ कि आज तक मैंने जो अल्लाह की राह में खर्च करता है उसको गरीब होते नहीं देखा. और मैं आपको ये यकीन से कहता हूँ कि God has been very kind to me. I had the honor to become first Muslim member of Parliament in United Kingdom. फिर मैंने कुरान पाक पे हल्फ लिया, वहाँ पे I was the first person to be the chair of any non-white person to be chair of any select committee of the House of Commons, governor बना, senator बना. लेकिन एक बात मैं आपको ईमानदारी से कहता हूँ कि जो तस्कीन और सुकून मुझे, जो मैं वेलफेयर के काम करता हूँ, उनमें मिलता है, वो किसी ओहदे से मुझे कभी नहीं मिला. इसलिए मैं समझता हूँ कि हमें ह्यूमैनिटी की सर्विस जो है, खिदमत जो है, वो करनी चाहिए. यही हमारा ईमान भी है, और जो चीज़ हमने खर्च करके जानी है वही हमारे लिए सदका जारिया बनना है. तो मैं ट्रिब्यूट पे करता हूँ आप सबको, जो लोग CSR पे, गरीब पे, अंडर प्रिविलेज लोगों पे खर्च कर रहे हैं. तो आई एम सॉरी कि मुझे जल्दी लीव करना है, लेकिन एक मुझे बड़ी खुशी हुई है कि तमाम स्पीकर्स जो थे, दे वर वेरी ब्रीफ एंड दे मेड मीनिंगफुल स्पीचेस. लेकिन अगर इतने पॉलिटिशियन ने तकरीरें करनी होती तो फिर आज शाम मैं यहीं होता. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
बहुत शुक्रिया चौधरी मोहम्मद सरवर साहब, गवर्नर पंजाब. बेशक आपको बहुत जल्दी है, लेकिन हम थोड़ा सा वक्त आपका लेंगे क्योंकि बहुत सारे होंगे. और अब जस्ट बिफोर मूविंग ऑन, आई क्विकली इनवाइट सरदार मसूद खान साहब, प्रेसिडेंट आज़ाद ऑफ आज़ाद जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, सरदार मसूद खान साहब.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most beneficent. Honorable Governor, Chaudhry Mohammad Sarwar, Mr. Mohammad Naeem Qureshi, who is President of National Forum for Environment and Health, Mr. Ishtiaq Beg, who is founder president of Make-A-Wish Foundation, and Engineer Nadeem Ashraf, who is project head of the CSR Summit and Awards 2021. Also the Honorable Ambassador of Morocco. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to everybody. I'll follow the example of the Governor, who's made a very short, crisp speech and conveyed the key messages. I have this privilege of addressing the summit, I think for the 4th time, and Mr. Naeem Qureshi brings corporate representatives and CSR champions from Karachi to this place and from all over Pakistan. And it's a great gathering, as a matter of fact, and working for a great cause. So this summit also is very important. I pay tribute to Mr. Naeem Qureshi for his leadership and the network that he has created for CSR. The topic that was given to us was COVID-19 and the CSR. And we were hit by the virus last year, like the rest of the world. But Pakistan has been fortunate because our fatalities have not been as high as in other nations of the world. I'll give you some statistics. I mean, the total people who have been infected so far are 576,000, deaths about 12,772, and recoveries are 539,888. Now, in Azad Kashmir, I want to tell you that we have also been fortunate because confirmed cases have been about 10,000 and deaths have been 296. So, and some 9,097 people are recovering. Now, in this regard, I want to pay special tribute and compliments to the National Command Operations Center because they provided this nexus, this leadership for guiding the entire nation. They were our compass in these difficult times, and also the NCC, the National Coordination Committee, which worked under the leadership of the Prime Minister of Pakistan. Now, let me tell you that the other parts of the world have not been so fortunate. The global figure is that 112 million have been infected by coronavirus, and deaths 2.4 million. And as you would know, that President Biden was in a vigil a couple of days ago, because in the United States, 500,000 people were killed by this deadly virus. And this number was more than the combined number of the fatalities in the Vietnam War and the Second World War. Such was the catastrophe there. And so we've been better off. But let me point out that the threat is not over. New strains of COVID-19 have appeared in many parts of the world, including here in Pakistan. And we can't rule out the possibility of a biological war or biological warfare. We don't know. I mean, for this, it was accidental. There's no doubt about this. But what if next time a hostile enemy uses this kind of virus to destroy a nation or sabotage it? Therefore, it is very important that we must invest in preparedness and response for deadly viruses, including a virus like coronavirus. Now, we're still watching COVID-19, and we would like to say that we must focus as a nation, all parts of Pakistan, Azad Kashmir and Gilgit Baltistan, they must focus on 3 areas. And these areas are health, finance, livelihood, because livelihoods have been hit very hard. I would also say that corporate social responsibility has emerged as a major factor in alleviating the suffering of the people of Pakistan during this catastrophe. And we thank them, all of them. I mean, they reached out to the corporations to play their part because they are part of society. And therefore they have a social responsibility to their consumers, to the ecosystem where they operate, and to other people who are affected. We also have to prepare ourselves to produce vaccines so that next time we are hit by a virus like this, we have the wherewithal to combat such a virus. And a few points that I would say towards the end of my presentation, as a matter of fact, before I conclude, is that we have to boost our economy. If we do not invest in our economy, because right now our growth rate has plummeted, but there's promise. We have the fundamentals right, we have the infrastructure, and I'm sure that we can galvanize the economy, and the entire nation is confident, and we will negotiate this transition because the human capital, the human resource that we have in Pakistan, the kind of network that we are developing all over the world, would help us revive and re-energize this economy. Let me also tell you that one of the functions that we have, the CSR, all the philanthropic organizations, and I pay tribute to Governor Chaudhry Sarwar Sahab, because he himself is a philanthropist and he's a social entrepreneur, as a matter of fact. I mean, he's alleviated poverty. He has contributed to the alleviation of poverty, and he's addressed some human development issues. And as he said that the private sector or these organizations, non-governmental organizations, are the most efficient vehicle for alleviating poverty. Because as long as 35% of the people of Pakistan are below the poverty line, which means that they are not earning $3.20 a day, we would remain poor. The elite, the rich people, the feudal lords, the industrial tycoons, they won't matter. What matters is these people, 35% people of Pakistan population. Having said that, let me also give you good tidings. And the good tidings are that according to a survey which was conducted by this magazine, which is called the Forbes magazine, they said that 86 million people in Pakistan have already entered into the lower and higher middle class. So that's an engine which can not only take care of itself, but it can, as a matter of fact, eradicate poverty. The other thing that we have to do is that we have to bring informal economy, undocumented economy, into the tax net. Because Pakistan is a rich country, but its wealth is hidden. Our GDP is US dollars 284 billion, and it should be 1 trillion. As a matter of fact, if all these businesses and enterprises and the agricultural income and industrial income is fed into the mainstream, economic mainstream, I can tell you that we would be able to alleviate poverty, and corporate social responsibility would be a helping hand in this regard. Let me also tell you that together, the cumulative losses of FATF and counter-terrorism are more than 500 billion. And because of this FATF restrictions, we have lost already 38 billion US dollars. And when we count or calculate direct losses from our war against terrorism, we say 150, and I would say it is $500 billion, because they were also denied opportunities. I think that some time ago, the government of Pakistan had taken this initiative to write off debts. We should be the leaders in getting these debts written off. Otherwise, we won't be able to wipe out poverty. I'll tell you why. Because we are addicted to these debts. This assistance that comes from abroad, either it is IMF or these Bretton Woods institutions, or it comes from bilateral sources, And we remain indebted to them. I mean, this year the figure is 112 billion, and it can, by the end of the year, it can be 118 billion. It's unaffordable. And if we carry this burden, we will never be able to alleviate poverty or bring Pakistan in the comity of nations which are prosperous. These are odious debts, and they must be written off, because they were in the first place extended to Pakistan to make Pakistan a part of the anti-communist bloc, and they were in fact given to us so that we remain perpetually dependent on the Western donors. And we have developed what I call the Stockholm Syndrome. I don't know how many of you are familiar with this expression. Stockholm Syndrome means that when somebody takes you hostage, the victim falls in love with the hostage or develops a bond with the hostage. So we have developed this bondage, this bond with our creditors. This must be cast away. And the good news is that I have run out of all points. And what I would like to add is that we do not need reprofiling of debts, but debt write-off. And my last thought with you, to all the champions of CSR, to all the people who are present here, who are working for a stronger, greater nation of Pakistan, attain economic sovereignty. Attain economic sovereignty. That is a strategic priority. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so very much. This was Sardar Masood Khan Saab, President Azad Jammu and Kashmir. Thank you so much for really understood the significance of corporate social responsibility. So I'll not take much of the time, and I'll start announcing the categories and the company's name. You're all requested to please come forward from the right side of the podium, receive your memento, and you have to. I would like to also request Ishtiaq Beg Sahab to please come forward and take the memento. The second category of awards is biodiversity and conservation. The category of award is best practices, and we have so many award winners under this category. For best practices, first of all, I would like to invite Agri Auto Industries Limited, Mari Petroleum Company Limited, National Institute of Cardiovascular